resolve it.
We're resolving things tonight? I didn't think that was possible. Oh, hi, everybody. It's Friday, you bastards.
The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic book community. Comic creators and comic fans, tonight you are seen, heard, recognized. Because comics are for everyone. Live from Miami, Florida, broadcasting around the world, this is the Not Near Mint Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Not Near Mint Show. It's the end of the week. It's Friday, and the bottom's been dropping out of the world, and we've been noticing, wow, a lot of books have been kind of going down in price, and we're going to go right into the top 10 because I was watching earlier this week as a Flash number 105. It was remaindered, but somehow they put the top back, and it went for $73.
Shut up.
So that's where we are this week. So let's just get right into it. So every week I do the top 10, and it's based off of my collection right here in the back. And we do it the 5 bottom, the 5 up, the ones that have dropped the most, the ones that have gone up the most. I now have 28,428 books in this hoarder of a collection here. So once a week on Thursday, I hit the value update button and it spits out a list, and this is that list. And here we go. These are the bottom 5 crashes, and we're just going to switch over to the other camera. Because for some of you out there, you might be getting some great deals this weekend because I don't know if the stock market exactly completely dropped out. Let's see here. Now, it was up 35 points, but overall, we might be at war with Iran. We might be getting into some shit. So because of that, maybe that's why some of these prices have fallen the way they have. So number 10, we have Action Comics 252. This is the first appearance of Supergirl, Kara Zor-El. This came out in 1959 and a good, very good 3.0 raw. Somebody paid $999. It is down $406.
That's crazy.
Isn't there a movie?
That movie's about to come out.
Yeah, isn't there a movie? I mean, I just dropped about $100 just before I took a nap this evening because there's a new movie coming out. I have high expectations for Superman, although I'm trying to keep my expectations managed. So I got a bunch of those Lobo books because this handsome gentleman over here was telling me, hey, a lot of these books are kind of cheap. And I saw somebody on eBay for $29.99 for most of the stuff on Omega Man, some of the Rebels stuff with him. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll throw that away. Hey, let's take a value update check and let's take the temperature of the industry. This is an under $1,000 book right now. Ugh.
Crazy.
Ugh. And if you thought that was bad, get this shit. Journey into Mystery.
Gargoyle. I remember when
I love Great Gargoyle too. Also, first Carnilla. They were trying to pump her up before that Love and Thunder movie came out to critical bombs. 8.5 raw. This is a high grade book. I paid at least about like $300 or $400 for this. I think last year, maybe the year before. $46, 1964, down $254. So those of you looking for your Journey into Mystery Thor books, here's another one. So I threw my hat in the ring the other night because I'm trying to currently right now save up for a first appearance of Sergeant Rock. I know I probably shouldn't tell everybody this, but you know, comic collectors like us, we're like the dogs in the movie Up. Squirrel. So I saw a Journey into Mystery number 85, first appearance of Loki, and I'm asking my dealer, how much do you think this is going to go for? At least $1,500. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring, put down $620. The book went for $630.01.
Oh my God,
that's crazy.
First Loki, and about a VG, maybe a GVG.
That's
still, it was complete.
Things are going down.
That's the temperature of the industry. This is why people tune into the show. We're not going to blow smoke up your ass, folks. We're going to tell you the honest truth. There might be a lot of volume moving on some of these books, but that might be for the FOMO collectors. We're the people that have been collecting forever, and we're trying to finish runs. And hey, Comic Chef, how you doing? What's up, buddy? So yeah, this was a book that $46 in very fine plus,
Nice.
down 254. And we got a classic Neil Adams cover, and this one's down too, but it doesn't hurt as bad because, well, I didn't pay that much for it. Fine, very fine, 1971 book, $47 somebody paid this week. It is down 63. I'm having a hard time thinking that somebody paid $100 for this, but you know, there was once a time people wanted all the Neil Adams stuff, but maybe that's not today. In fact, it's not today because somebody got it for under $50.
Wow.
But
But then, well, it gets worse. I mean, these things are going up as far as the down's concerned. So the first one was down $406. The last one's going to be down 36. But when you're seeing all these things dropping, and then I'm looking at how much week after week my collection's dropping, I'm okay with it because right now it means it's a buyer's market. If there's something you're looking for, now is that time. Speaking of which, Daredevil #9, his classic Wally Wood book. He did it through and through. It's the issue where Stan finally gives him the credit instead of Stan stealing the writing credit as he did for literally every book that was coming out at Marvel at that time. But came out in 1965 in a 8.0 raw. Very fine. I paid over $100 for this. $37.
whoa,
It is down 44.
Wow.
that's insane.
Yeah. So if you're looking for early Daredevil, and I'm not talking about issue 1 or 7, now might be that time. Also, speaking of which, because I paid double for the next one of where it's at currently. Action Comics number 254, first appearance of Bizarro as an adult, because he first appears in Superboy, I think issue number 60,
Yep.
the year prior. He was popular, so they brought him back. Here he is. He's coming back for a new run, I guess, in Justice League Unlimited, I believe. I could be wrong. I just did FOC the other day. But first appearance of Bizarro, right? 1959, 3.5 raw. Very good minus. $159. It is down 36. Just a few months ago, this was a $250 book, and a couple months before that, it was about a $500 book. I know I paid about $250-ish. But if you're looking for these and you have any expectations whatsoever for the Superman movie, hey, if it's successful, the comic book market might be back a little bit for people paying higher prices on books. Again, if you're trying to get those books for yourself and you're not so concerned about the market dropping out, now's that time because we're the real collectors. We're not the ones going, hey, we got this book and now we can turn it around and sell it to somebody else, make a lot of money, and then get another one and pay Peter or borrow from Peter to pay Paul. No, we don't do that. All right, those are the ones that dropped 5. These are the ones that went up 5. And there's some patterns going on with this as well. So number 5, we have Captain Marvel, number 26. This is the second appearance of Thanos, but it's the first cover appearance of Thanos. People say War is Hell number 8 is the first appearance of Death. No, that's just her first cover. This is the issue where you have Thanos looking really, really tiny there in a corner in a window.
That's a tiny Thanos.
So tiny. I mean, it's kind of like Captain. What?
It's not Thanos?
That's Thanos.
Okay.
First cover.
Thanos.
Thanos or Thanos?
Thanos.
No, it's Thanos.
You're a Thanos,
I wipe my ass with a Thanos.
right?
Oh, wait, no, that's just a thermos when I'm out in the woods.
Ugh, okay.
Don't read into that.
What?
Wipe your ass with a thermos.
Yeah.
What?
All right,
That's the only thing you can find in the woods.
Jesus.
hey, if you don't have any poison ivy and you're not sure what poison ivy looks like, you use what you got. And if you're not using your thermos anymore,
No,
It's the logistics that confuse me.
I don't understand.
I
you
didn't
don't
really mind
use
that
the
you're
part
doing
that
it.
you grab, you use the soft side.
How?
You-
What
oh.
soft side do you have on your thermos?
I would hope it's soft on one side at least, unless you have this really weird sort of stuff that you go biking with.
What the fuck are you trying to? What are you using as a thermos?
Nope. Stop talking. Go to jail.
Listen, we've said some weird shit on this show. That might actually take the cake right there. I wipe my ass with my thermos.
More
Rob-
you know.
Rob's life hacks. Guys, if you're out of Kleenex, toilet paper, I mean,
Grass.
the side of the tent would be better.
I should have wiped my ass on a fucking tree. I just find like a maple or something with a nice smooth bark. He's like, I'm gonna wipe my ass with my thermos. You gotta carry that shit with you, literally.
An over-friendly squirrel. I don't know. Something. Come on.
That poor squirrel.
Yeah, our show is so weird that we could just go right off the rails like immediately. Like I've been Compton. We had a few people watching, and now it's just like probably you and me.
Now it's down to 2. We were at like 5. Now it's down to 2.
We don't want to hear this.
Hey,
Well, good, because
you're
now
hanging
you're
in
going to find out how much it went for.
How much?
This Captain Marvel 26. This is 7.0, fine, very fine, 1973. $52. It is up 35. So I think I got this for $25 myself. So yeah, it went up a little bit if you wait.
Oh, yeah.
Number 4. This is Avengers 53. It's the first time the X-Men cross over in the Avengers title. So came out in 1968, also in a fine, very fine, raw. $145. It is up 65, and that might be because they've been talking about bringing the X-Men into the movies for the MCU and yada, yada, yada. We've been hearing this. Hey, show me some casting. Not just casting. Show me an actual photograph. If there ain't pics, it doesn't exist. I read that on 4chan somewhere. Number 3, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 100. This is the anniversary issue with John Romita cover. Spider-Man also grows extra arms, so he has like 2 to 4 now? 4. There you go. So he's got 4 of them. Hey, Comic Chef's still here. The best part of the show is going off the rails. Well, thank you, man. Nobody else apparently thinks that, which is funny.
That's the first appearance of shit thermos.
This episode, right here from this guy.
I love that cover, though.
Yeah, it's a nice cover. I keep seeing it on T-shirts and whatnot. And for anybody out there wondering where Lady Fantastic is, she is at the Heroes Con, so she is having some fun tonight.
Nice.
Hey, real
much is
fun
that
enough.
one worth?
Go ahead.
How much is that one worth?
So this one here, it is up this week, 1971, fine, very fine. $225, up 84. Wow, it dropped all the way down to 0. We better never talk about shit thermoses on this show again. Or
Nobody's left.
I'm going to make that a bit now. If ever I need to get rid of everybody like a father at a house party and you just found out your daughter's being made out with a high school football, quarterback, shit thermos clears the room.
I think they all ran off to get their own thermos.
They went, I got to try that out. And
Yeah.
I need to take a shit. So number 2, we got the 3rd Silver Age appearance of Namor the Submariner, Fantastic Four number 9. Some Fantastic Fours are down. This one is up this week in a very good minus from 1962. Somebody paid $264. It is up 91. And then we have the last one. Number 1 is Iron Man 55, first appearance of Thanos, first appearance of Drax, and he's on the cover along with the Blood Brothers. First Eros, which is Star Fox, first Mentor is Daddy, first Cronus, yada, yada, yada. It's a lot of first appearances because Jim Starlin was a kid going, I might never get to work in the industry again, so here we go. So yeah, this book is up along with Captain Marvel 26. I guess Thanos might be making another appearance in the MCU. Maybe that might be the reason why these are up a bit. But for the longest time, you could have found a decent upper mid-grade book for under $500. But not right now, because other people are looking for them. Because when the market's down, people start looking for those books that they've always really, really wanted. Like us. And just remember, this list is intended to help collectors and readers determine if they should look for a particular comic or series online or wait 6 weeks. And if at 6 weeks it's still up, wait 6 months. At 6 months, just wait until if it hasn't dropped after 6 months, you better just buy it right then and there because it is not coming down. And those are the top 10 that I put together for this week. And just a reminder, earlier this week, I was on a podcast called the Corner Box Podcast, and it was about an hour interview, and it was a lot of fun. So if you get a chance to check that out, the Corner Box Podcast, it stars David Hedgecock. And now back to the show. So anybody got books this week?
I got some stuff to show.
All right, let me put this off to the side so the cats won't eat it.
Hey, Michael, question for you. Do you guys up there look for American price variants?
No, not at all.
Oh, fuck.
Although, as a little aside, I know you're not asking this, but one reason comic prices might be going down, the tariffs to get your comics into Canada now is insane. I just got hit so bad that I almost cried. So yeah, I wonder if it's happening around the world because America is one of the big suppliers of auctions and things like that. So
Right.
I literally can't bid on anything in America right now because the tariff is insane.
None of our books are going to the damn Saudis. There's that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, as oil once they start to turn this country into a giant piece of glass by nuking us.
Yeah,
So-
I would say we don't look for American. I would only say we kind of avoid UK for some reason. I don't know why, but
Really?
we
So the
just don't like
prices
it.
on the UKs are down up there in Canada, you say?
Yeah.
We might have to make a deal. I want some of them UK price variants. So I coordinated my books today. I sorted them, right? And I'm gonna go. It's gonna be themes. You're gonna see themes, right? We're gonna start with small press black and whites, right? Yes, small press black and whites. That's what we're gonna start with. Here's some Caliber Presents. Now, I'm gonna tell you why I always watch for Caliber Presents. They're always gonna be in the cheap bins, right? They're always gonna be in the cheap bins, right? And I'll tell you
Especially
why.
if you find a Caliber Presents #1.
Right. I got that out of the dollar. Well, somebody got me that out of the dollar bin. But the reason I watch for the rest of the Caliber Presents is because Tim Vigil started his Barbarian story Cuda in Caliber Presents. It later went on and was finished being published by Avatar. But it's all individual. It's anthology style, right? So you get a couple of different stories. That's another Vigil. This one didn't have a Vigil, but that's just a cool cover, right? Very nightmare into doorway or doorway into nightmare. You know what I'm talking about. And here's a great one. This speaks to every parent's fear when we were kids. Remember, TV's gonna rot your brain. You're gonna be violent, right?
You were literally too stupid to insult.
Exactly. That's what I always say. And good shit. So here we got some even smaller. Well, maybe not.
Is that an Ian Gibbons cover?
I believe it's a Tre Leche. Cover. Tre Leche.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any fucking clue. Here's War of the Worlds #5. This was an Eternity, and I think I showed the first part. This was an Eternity Comics black and white. Back in the 90s, there was a TV show, War of the Worlds came out. It was really popular. This has literally nothing to do with it. They just had anybody could do it because it was public domain. But of course, because it was a popular TV show, now a hit TV show, the classic novel on alien invasion, literally had nothing to do with the TV show. No, nothing. And then here's the last issue of this Verdict book. I showed the first 3 issues previously. This cover is by Sam Keith, but one cover was by Dennis Cowan. Like there's actually some really great art. Martin Powell was the writer. He's a big time New York Times bestseller type dude now, from what I understand. And then from Eternity Comics, I love this. If you ever see this, the X Mutants. This is a really good post-apocalyptic book. The X Mutants, the reason they're X Mutants is because they look like normal humans. Everybody else was a mutant on Earth due to 10 years of nuclear radiation exposure from nuclear war. Like one generation was born, and they were all these grotesque monstrosities like this, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so-
yeah.
and
I wanna fuck that.
one of the scientists reverse engineered some of the mutants into normal humans, so they were the X-mutants, right? But they're actually really good stories. They're fun. Original art by Ron Lim.
Okay.
The
I'm
original
listening.
books. Valentino did some of the art on it. Look
I'm guessing this is long before Image.
Ron Lim.
And Ron Lim long before Silver Surfer.
Before Silver Surfer and Valentino. This was definitely before Image. This was like 88, 89, something like that. But they're really fun books. They'll never be expensive, but they're a great read. And now look at this, Star Reach #5, right? Another black and white. This is a real small press book.
That's a nice cover.
It is. And I want you to look at the names
Isn't
on
it Starlin? Oh, Len Wein.
Shaken.
It's
Howie
Shaken, which means it's when he was very young, because he has not gone by Howie in a long time. Not only is that a great cover, look, it's actually a wrap.
Oh, nice.
That, right? And this book was published. Holy shit, that's the smallest type I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at the indicia. Look how small that is.
See, this is why God invented cell phones, so you could take a photograph of it and then just swipe to widen it.
I should. I'm not gonna, but I should do that. And then I got one more. Look at this. Bruce Lee from Malibu Comics. Bruce Lee with a mullet. Look, in the 90s, everybody had a mullet. Even when they had a nice tight haircut, everybody had a mullet, right?
If only he'd lived to be able to have a mullet.
I know. Now, as you can see, we're moving into a little bit bigger press. Look at this. The Powers #35 here. This is from volume 2, I think. This is where you actually get a lot of the superheroes of the Powers universe. You know, they primarily focused on the cop who had lost his powers, right? But this is, you get a lot of the heroes. Here's Huck. You know, again, fuck Millar, but Huck was actually a pretty good story.
Huck Millar.
Heroines #1. This is from I think Stony Goat Productions or Stoned Goat Productions, something like that. Something Goat Productions. There you go. And now look, I'm not going to promote the man, but this was one of the greatest stories I've ever read. This is the preview book. It's a flip for a Gen 13 book. But, you know, John Cassidy, phenomenal artist, fuck the writer. You know, unfortunately, John passed away, but this was just some of the most incredible art. Once again, fuck Millar. But look, a Quietly, I'll never turn down a Quietly. I had a copy, but it was a little beat. So I got this nice, clean, pretty copy. Look at that.
Do you think he was copying the Avengers in that? Do you think
maybe? You know, Mark Millar is well known for having very original ideas. Instead of just let's take something and make it shittier.
He's about as original as Stan Lee was. Oh wait, no, he never actually wrote anything.
No, that's true. This one's actually pretty cool. It's horror, Mr. Monsters, high octane horror. A lot of fun book. I got a couple of horror books, not a ton. R.I.P.D. City of the Damned. Remember that really shitty movie, R.I.P.D.?
Oh, I keep trying to watch it. I get a half hour in, I just give up every time.
It's so bad. First issue of The Strain. Now talk about a good horror.
I like the TV show of that.
TV show is good, man. TV show is good.
Never watched the end.
And now, yeah, me neither. Now into the big two. I'm going to do some big twos here real quick, but I'll go a little faster, right? I'll go a little faster. Look, here we got Ennis and Robertson. Listen, anything Derek Robertson draws is great. This is a Gary Frank cover, but anything Derek draws is great. Anything Ennis writes is great. Fury, Peacemaker, really good story. I was missing that one last issue, so I'm glad I got it. I don't know how I didn't have this. This is the only one I didn't have from the Heroes Reborn run. Night Gwen.
Nice.
With the frickin' Nakayama.
With the frickin' Nakayama.
I love David Nakayama's work. I mean, honestly, if I search, there's certain names I search every month in previews. I log into Diamond's little website, little pull box website, and I search the creator's name. And if they've got a cover on a book I'm marginally interested in, that's the one I'm getting. This series is finally, you're getting a little bit easier to find, a little bit less expensive. You know, $5 an issue isn't bad, you know. So I picked up a couple of fill in the missing holes I had here. Weird though. I tried to read them and I was like, man, I'm totally lost. I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna have to go back and read the whole thing to fill the holes in here. And I don't know why I missed this. I was just tired of fucking weeklies, I think. But the Trinity run from DC here is actually really good. You get the crime syndicate. They travel throughout the time and the multiverse. It's actually really good. I should have stuck with it. This was better than the rest. Injustice, like another series. I totally blanked on it. I was like most people with the first volume. I was like, video game tie-in's gonna blow. It was actually a really good story. That's what you get when you have a Tom Taylor. I mean, it spawned, 5 years of it, Ground Zero, a year 2. I mean, there must be like 200 plus issues of Injustice.
I played the video game.
Yeah, there you go. The Judd Winnick run of Green Arrow, a bunch of holes in my collection here that I got to fill in. I got to get the when Dr. Light returns. Everybody remembers when they were hunting Dr. Light during Identity Crisis, right?
Oh, why?
It's a lot easier to get that issue now.
It is a lot easier. And
but you were in the Justice League cartoon. How could you do that? Right. Get out of my office.
And one of the Titans issues there that I was missing, one of the variant covers. These are hard to find. When you get near the end of this run, it gets really tough. Deathstroke number 54. Really tough. Print runs really, really low. Really hard to find. Actually, pretty good story. Definitely worth a read. And now we got a little race here.
Okay.
Look, I don't even care what y'all say. That's hot. Ms. Marvel number 19. I'm not even a furry fan, but that's hot right there. Codename Knockout. This was a Vertigo title. Oh, a sexy lady. And speaking of the sexy ladies, look, these are hard to come by. So when I find them, I get them. And this one, I love this series so much, I put it in a Mylar. Or I kept it in the Mylar. I didn't put it in the Mylar. I don't fucking buy that shit. Purgatory number 2. So after Chaos went out of business, right? After Chaos went bankrupt, he went to CrossGen with Lady Death. And DDP bought the Chaos characters. Well, then Devil's Due Publishing went out of business, and they sold the characters to Dynamite. So you'll find there's a very short period where you can get the Chaos books from DDP.
I have a question.
Hit me.
Before the show started, you were explaining to Michael up there what DP was. So does DDP mean double penetration?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Here's the Omen Chosen preview book. This is actually an original Chaos book. This is actually an original Chaos book.
Asking for a thermos.
It's a great... God. Do we have any viewers at this point? Holy crap, they actually went up.
I've got 2 thermoses.
You got 2 thermoses? And
I'm a monster.
Getting into the crappy 90s books, these Maxi Mage books. I don't know what they use to sell these books. Anybody got an idea?
Booth babes.
Yep. And then Nira meets Cinder, 2 90s female characters. I don't think anybody really remembers. This one's kind of cool. Demonic.
Looks like they took their faces and went.
It's a style. It's Moss. I don't know how you say his name.
You went over that. So booth babes, like at conventions, they'd have good-looking women sell the comic.
They put them on the comic. Here's Evangeline. Evangeline's going to be made into a movie, produced or directed, probably produced by Harley Quinn. So, these Evangeline books, pretty easy to get. Look, Liefeld, I get it. Like, we give him a lot of guff, and it's not always fair. It is fair this time with these 2 bazongas. What woman has boobs like that? You can't even make boobs like that.
Not even if they're floating on viscous material.
Same with this one. What's happening here? Are they running from each other, and that shirt is the only thing keeping them together?
He's not even laying down, but I do approve of them hips.
Is that a liger? I don't know what is that? I don't know, man.
Although now it does make sense where I found that one issue done by J. Scott Campbell of the issue 1, I believe, of Black Panther, and it looks like that kind of panther. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Now here we go. Another Sisters of Mercy. This is another great example of 90s comics here, right? First of all, I don't know if you know this, but she's very cold in this jungle.
hot jungle.
I mean, it makes sense. She's wearing essentially a bathing suit with her giant metal arm and her sword.
Never go to war in a bathing suit, guys.
Do you know who Adam Warren is?
I do not.
I love Adam Warren. He did a big chunk of Gen 13. He's very anime style, manga style artist. Before he did Gen 13, he did this, which is Dirty Pair.
Oh, cute.
So this is Dirty Pair Sim Hell. This is actually a really wild story. Even
DT, that's what it means. Dirty
That's
Pair.
what it
Okay,
means.
now I know.
Issue 2, issue 3. And now we're going to get a little bit racier.
More racy than Dirty Pair.
The Grimm Fairy Tales number 52. That's from volume 1. Grimm Fairy Tales number 25 from volume 2. Little racier.
He doesn't
there.
look grim.
Now look, this one, I love this one. This is Babe Watch from Parody Press. Look at that.
No. No.
Look at that. Look at how awful
Oh my
is
god.
that art. It's just terrible. Again,
I apologize.
How am I supposed to masturbate to that?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean, that's what any child buying that in a comic store is thinking. It's like, no, it's not Cheval Noir #1.
now, last but not least, this is the one you got to put up the warning for here, Mr. Mint.
Get ready.
Dream
boy.
Angel, World Without End. Look, there was a company called Angel Entertainment. Okay. I don't normally show their stuff because the publisher is an enemy of freedom today. But I'm going to show you this one. It's one of the worst adult covers I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some bad adult covers. Yes, those are boobalas. This book is not even in CLZ. The regular version is. The nude version is not. I had
It's a regular version.
There's a regular, there's a hoo-hoo like that version. And this one is not in it. Now, I actually have one more here. I'm not going to show you guys, and I'll tell you why. If I did, we would get kicked off YouTube would throw us right off the internets.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to I'm going to show you one little bit. I'm going to show you. Okay, my hand's covering it all. But here's the title of the book.
Spore Horse.
Okay, look.
Collecting comics at the end of the world, folks. Here we go. And
that's the book. That's all you're going to get.
I can't see nothing.
You should look it up on the internet. You should,
or not.
Okay, I showed it.
Spore Horse.
Okay.
I showed it.
Yikes.
That's
yeah,
rough.
well, that was our show tonight, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Look, sometimes you come across a book while you're digging that is so awful looking that you can't pass it up. You have to bring it home because if nothing else, it will create hundreds of fun conversations. Yeah, tell me about it, Comic Chef. That's what I said. I bought that book in a shop in Atlanta, Georgia, and I said to him, hey, you got any underground stuff? My first time in there, I'm chatting the guy up. Hey, you got any underground stuff? And look, guys, if you want to find weird books, hard to find stuff, that's what you do. You go in and you chat up the guy. You just talk to him. Find the one that's friendly to talk to, and you just chat him up, right?
Also hit a porn store.
Don't do that. Although, actually, now that you say that, I have bought comics from adult video stores in the past.
They exist.
Yeah, they do. It was in the early 2000s. I don't know if they still do it.
Dude, a long time. Well, actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was planning on going to this one comic shop that was up in Sunrise in Florida, like early 2000s. Finally, I get the chance to go there, and the place has already been sold and converted. I walk in, and there's this pretty young girl, and I'm like, was this a comic shop? I'm like, well, we have some adult comics. And she's like smiling. I'm going, nope, I'm good. I leave because I was an idiot and I was young and I didn't know any better. But then again, when I'm autistic, I think that everyone's trying to look at me and judge me. And no, they're going to think I'm wrong for being at a porn shop. No, go into a porn shop and go, I will happily take your porn comics. $1 a piece.
Don't do it. Now, one last book. I got this in today. This was published a couple of years ago. I wanted to get the Absolute. Right. But then I saw a new version of that's coming out, and I had already had myself excited for this one.
Oh,
this is the deluxe hardcover edition.
Nice.
2026, guys. There's a new absolute edition of Crisis on Infinite Earths coming out.
Didn't he ink that?
where he was just on Blue Sky talking about re-inking it. This is just the 12 issues. The Absolute Edition is going to have all 12 issues, right? But they're going to be re-inked and recolored off of the original pencils. Jerry Ordway had he's been begging DC for years to reproduce the line art, to improve the line art, because the processes have changed so much since 1984 when he first started doing this with George, and they finally agreed. So last year he spent 18 months scanning in the original art pages he had, right? Alex Ross has provided pages because he had some in his collection. He also provided the original pencils of this. So this is George's pencils and Alex's painting over George's pencils, right? He provided that so they could reproduce it. A ton of original art that's never been seen in print before, coming in the new Absolute Edition of this book. Highly recommend doing it if you're at all a fan of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. The last Absolute Edition contained a compendium. Now, I don't know if this one's going to, but the last one contained a compendium, and the compendium had all of the multiverse listed, and it had the most complete list of the pre-Crisis multiverse DC ever did, and it's the only place it's ever been. I don't know if it's going to be in the new volume. I really hope it's going to be, because that last volume came out in 2005, and it's really hard to find. And now, back to you.
Well, why'd you get that if you're going to get the new one?
Because
he's a completist,
right? I've got multiple copies of the original book. I have an autographed George Perez issue by George Perez, issue number 7. Like,
we're comic fans. We're easy marks.
Right. I just buy Crisis. I see Crisis, I buy Crisis. Yeah, you're
right.
right.
Michael's grabbing.
Let's see what you got.
Okay, I got one new issue because I'm
great.
falling in love with this Absolute Martian Manhunter. Beautiful.
Great series, right?
Excited.
I'm kind of surprised. The art really kind of threw me at first. I wasn't sure if I was going to be in it, but it is perfect.
I like the art. Yeah, no, I like the art.
It's not my normal style, but it's
colorful.
Yeah,
it's different. Okay, so I got a package of World's Finest to fill in some collections.
Oh, that's a great issue too.
Yeah,
that's a great issue.
I always love 100-page specials, so I'm glad I got to pick up some of those.
Yeah, and they're tough to get in a nice condition.
Yes, for sure. Some of these will not be in nice condition, but that's okay. I love the Super Sons, love-hate this original Super Sons. The one they're doing now with John, Kent, and Damian, those are amazing stories. But yeah, the early ones were funny, just typical.
Or even aging John back to being a kid so they could have that same dynamic again. But the original, what's wrong with the original? I really never got into it.
I mean, it was Bob Haney doing it. I mean,
say no more.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
he's known for war. Not whenever he had to do superheroes, it's like you could tell he was being dragged kicking and screaming to do it, just like Robert Kanigher. It's like, well, hey, buddy, you need to do Wonder Woman. Are you kidding me? Wait, we have to stick a black woman in this? I get to be racist now. Yeah, that's how it felt like reading from those war people doing comics.
Well, I often felt like, because he did a lot of the Brave and the Bold, like he'd start off with a good team up, a semi-interesting idea, and I felt like he just would give up halfway through the story and just like, I don't know, they do this, do that, it's over. It's like, I just felt like he just didn't give a crap, and he definitely didn't care about continuity or logic or anything else.
Well, in the late 60s, you heard about what they used to do in a Star Trek episode if they didn't quite have the science down. So in order to do this, they scienced the project, and that's basically what he did. He just stuck in just euphemistic words and just never bothered updating it.
Yeah. So that's, oops. I think that's one of the first dollar store, the 80-page all new stories. I think 245 might be one of the first ones where they switched over to that format. This is a Garcia Lopez cover. Love those. He did some art for these, for this run. Got a beautiful Neil Adams cover snuck in there. And Kurt Schaffenberger art on the inside. So I always love Kurt Schaffenberger.
Always love seeing a man chained down. Especially a Superman.
There's a Jim Aparo. Sorry, not Apollo.
Jim Aparo. Is that Vase? Is it Vaz? If it's Vaz, I need to murder you.
It's not a bad I mean, he kind of phoned it in, but at least it's interesting to look at. The 250.
I mean, the Spider-Man 100 covers just a bunch of stencils in the background, so by comparison, it's about better.
About the same. You got to admire them that they did the world's finest, because you can't have two more contrasting superheroes, two contrasting powers, trying to get them to work together on a similar theme. Like, good for the writers for trying, because it's not easy to pull these things off. You got that. I think this might be a Garcia Lopez art on the inside, but it's definitely not the cover. Oh, and I should flip it around. There's a Neil Adams.
Batmouse.
Actually, was there another? Okay. I'll move on. Terrorizing a phone book. Yeah. Like Superman could like destroy worlds and Batman's in there. I'm there. I'm ready for you anytime you need me to come in there, Superman. Again, another cover. Superman's doing all the action. Batman's like, I'm there. If you just call me. There's Mitchell and Webb is a beautiful, an amazing BBC sketch comedy series. But like the premise of one of their skits, they had thousands of them, but it was like God of Angel and skateboarding guy. I'm getting it totally wrong. I think he might have been like BMX guy. So it was basically the angel of the Lord who could pull off miracles and a guy who could do some neat tricks on his BMX bike. And to me, like that captured the idea of Superman and Batman. So the Lord of Angel would solve all the problems and the BMX guy would kind of get like pouty about it that he wasn't doing anything. So then the Lord of the Angel would allow him to do something. He said, you didn't really need me for that. Oh, that's another one. Better cover for that. Or maybe even worse. This is when Superman joined the Republican Party.
That's
That's
an offensive cover.
In fact, put that back up for a second. There's a reason. Yeah, just wait. Give it about another year, and that book is going to be one of those books that's going to be our new motto for America, because it is...
Warning. Warning.
Banger alert!
Warning. Banger alert. Banger.
I don't know about that, but
I totally played that for no reason.
I don't know what happened to your son, Batman, but I found him like this. Yeah, sure. Superman's son. Come on.
Yeah, whenever you found someone like that, you did it.
All right.
What's this one? Oh, Batman's dead in this one. My God, they had a theme here. Batman's dead. Then as his son, I succeed him.
That's kind of like reading previews for Spider-Man now, where they're going, this is the worst beatdown he's ever gotten. Is he going to die? It's like, the year is 1975. Spider-Man and Batman will die. The year is 1980. Batman and Spider-Man will die. The year is 1981. Every year. 244 was the first dollar comics issue of World's Finest, according to Jim.
Okay, what did you say? 145?
144.
Oh, 144. Okay.
244. 244.
244.
Jeez.
I'm looking at numbers and I'm reading the wrong things. How is that happening?
It's a good book. Good book. I got a copy of that. That's a
Somebody challenged me this week. I won't say who, but his initials are MM. When I said Watchmen was the best graphic novel of all time, he said I was a poser.
Not only did I call you a poser, I called you a fucking poser.
I didn't want to say that because there might be one child watching. Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting through this, and first of all, I love it because I do love the graphic novel, and I am learning things. I will say, like a lot of annotated things, if I'm pronouncing that right, it does do some filler sometimes. Like, for instance, it starts to go in, all these nuclear particles are called quarks and muons and things like that. And it's like, I don't think that really has much to do with the Watchmen, but that filled in something. One of my favorite annotated, as a little aside, is there's an Alice in Wonderland annotated book that I really, really love, because it does fill in things that I wouldn't have known about the novel because I wasn't born in the 19th century.
You were.
Okay, so that's me, my world's finest collection.
All right. Well, I guess I have a couple things that I picked up this week. It's not a lot. Still trying to save up for that one big book that is probably going to be end of year when that happens. But again, I did just try throwing my hat in the ring for A Journey into Mystery 85. But the likely next book you'll see me get is probably going to be Sergeant Brock. All right, here we go. The books that I picked up from this week. Just switch over the camera to... I know a couple of these are the ones from last week, but I only just finally put them into Mylar. Still need to read this and still need to find books 2 and 3, but it's done by Gurihiru, who is with the artist that worked with Kelly Thompson to do Jeff the Land Shark and did the character animations for the new Superman TV show that's on Max. Now,
Electrifying.
I didn't have this issue. I didn't even know there was a whole volume of this before they wound up sending him to hell and turned him into I don't know, like Spawn.
Yeah.
Before bringing him back with Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis and the volume 1 is really all that I was aware of. I remember the Michael Golden stuff, didn't remember this. He apparently leads the Mafia.
What?
Yeah, this is the second to last issue of that same volume. I still need to get the issue 18. But these are hard to find because this is right around the bankruptcy years. This was just sent to me because I ordered one specific book, and he's like, well, I think I sent this late, so I'll send you some extra books. I'm like, well, I didn't need this, but thank you.
That's sweet.
Shogun Warriors 5.
That's nice.
I have the first issue. I didn't have a 301 somehow, but I got one now. Because the book that I really wanted was this one. What is this? It's the last issue that I needed to complete my Young Avengers run.
Nice.
This is from volume 2 from I keep wanting to say Margaret because I dated a Margaret Gillen from Karen Gillan. There you go. Karen Gillan. And this was the origin of America Chavez.
Okay.
Nice.
So out of all the ones that I didn't pick up, of course, I had to get the one that right in 2021, this was like a $30 book. I think I paid altogether less than $10.
Oh, nice.
He also threw this in.
That's a great cover.
This is an exclusive cover. I think Condemned Comics. And then I picked these two up from my shop. This is the second issue in to the Supergirl on Adventure Comics.
You know,
What
I
does
love
it say? What's a good person saying?
Linda Danvers, you know what today is? Why you're the only one in class who's wearing a Supergirl uniform.
Now, first of all, accurate. But so look, the truth of the matter is, has anybody ever read the Supergirl run of Adventure Comics?
I only have like a handful of them.
Right. So look, I love every time I see one, I grab them, but I'll tell you what, they're not great. They're not great comics, man.
Damn.
They're not great comics. They're great covers. They just don't seem to know what to do with her.
No.
You know?
I'm going to take a guess.
No.
This is written for a woman by a man who doesn't know any women in his life. Am I getting close?
I mean, I wouldn't know if he didn't know any women. I would say that the characterization did not seem authentic.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's like low grade teen romance comics.
You know, as a parent of school-age children, I am offended by that concept. It's like Supergirl Day. Dad, I need a Supergirl costume. We can't afford a Supergirl costume.
I'll tell you right now, if a teacher was yelling at my daughter because she wasn't wearing a short skirt and hot pants, his ass would be going out the window. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you know that this is his kink.
Yeah, now that I think of it, yeah, there's
some missing room here in the type. I think that's because it should be like really, really small type that says something along the lines of "Meet me in my office after class."
Yeah.
I've got a uniform you can put on.
I'd
You,
be,
you
I'd
can
be,
dress in front of me, get
I'd
real
be,
clean for daddy.
I'd be getting a order of protection on that teacher, and I meant him on me if he said yelled at my daughter for not wearing a Supergirl costume at school.
Do you think that's the same teacher that was used for Donna Troy and in the
Probably,
Teen Titans?
probably the same one.
Ugh.
Fucking creep.
Superman splits up with his sister,
No, cousin.
cousin.
You know, there's another thing about the Supergirl run in Adventure Comics. This is a little earlier than when it became focused on her. They never knew what to do with her costume.
No, they were constantly changing it. They still are
changing it, and it was she had some of the worst costume changes ever in this run. Just god awful costumes.
And as you might suspect, they had a fan write in. It's like, send us your ideas for her costume, and we'll publish them.
Yeah,
And boy, did they.
yeah, I have that issue too, and it's something else.
Didn't quite stick around, did it?
Nope.
All right, these I had last week, but I didn't put them in Mylar yet. I have since put them in Mylar because if
Beautiful.
Nice.
I can afford to get them, I should afford to protect them. And these are issues that are specifically war, sent to me by Bill in Colorado. Thank you. So finally behind Mylar, this is the Brian Bolland cover to back issue.
Is it Bolland?
Baller.
Bolland? Bolland?
Boland?
I'm balling, brah.
Wait,
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
don't
look it up.
The internet's not going to tell you the truth. It's going to be some AI.
Camelot.
Yeah, it's going to be AI
3000.
swap.
Let's see who does Camelot. Mike Bard and Brian Bolland. Okay, yeah, Bolland. Okay.
Garth Ennis War Comics. I got to get that. Thank you, Bill.
That'll like that.
These are Savage Tales, also war, because the Nom started in this.
Very nice.
This looks a little bit like come with me if you want to live, little girl. Don't get on bikes with strange men in gay leather and a shotgun, especially with a shotgun. Not that they're gay.
He's got grenades on his chest. I'm more worried about the friggin' grenades, man.
Can I wear a helmet? No, I want you to live, but I want you to be brain dead.
Helmets are for pussies.
Jesus.
So are parachutes.
Oh my God.
She doesn't need no.
Have we not gotten?
She's
kicked off?
already got a parachute.
Oh,
You know, I think I have that issue.
yeah.
I bet you probably do. But those are the issues that were back issues that I picked up this week, and that's basically all I'm getting until probably next week when my big order of Lobo might come in at some point. But I had to order there's a couple books I already have in that, but for like 30, almost $40, fuck it, why not? Just like Adventures of Superman that has the first Lobo meeting Superman. There's another one where it's The Brave and the Bold where Lobo meets Supergirl.
Nice.
It's like all the real nice ones that you were telling me about. A couple of the ones from Omega Men. So I'm getting the 2. Looks like the 37 might be in there, but I don't think it's in the best shape, but it's fine. So at least I'll round that out before he winds up being in a movie and people go, hey, wait, I remember loving Lobo in the Paramilitary Christmas edition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's coming to a movie played by Aquaman.
Gonna happen.
It's gonna be
happen.
fun.
No, but Jason Momoa should play Lobo. So how can it be in the Aquaman? That doesn't make sense.
He was, and just now his soul has transversed the universe to become the Zoranian that murdered everybody on his planet because, for shits and giggles.
Oh, which you're saying the Omega Man that finally told his origin story. That's what you were trying to get?
Yeah. What was that? What issue is that?
So there's 2 of them. There's issue 2 is the one that has like a teeny tiny little picture of issue 3 in the back of it. Issue 5 is the issue that Lobo winds up having his name exposed to everybody because issue 3, they don't call him anything. He's just the guy in orange and purple and he looks weird.
Yeah.
Issue 5 is named. Issue 20 is a partial Origin, and issue 37 is the other partial Origin, and then he jumps on over to Legion where he joins that and you get some more.
Okay.
Oh, and the JSA stuff where he one cover is Guy Gardner looking down at him and the other one is Lobo looking up at vice versa.
It's when Guy Gardner had gotten punched and he was real nice and Lobo comes crashing, and this is actually those issues is where the Lobo we know today, his characterization actually begins.
He starts wearing the black jacket and leather, and he looks like a biker instead of some weird, like, hey, I just got out of a disco.
Didn't he like dolphins or something? Am I remembering?
He like dolphins.
Loves dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah. Space
dolphins is like his religion. Space dolphins.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, we did it. We did it again, guys.
Unless you have any more of those weird sexual covers that might get us booted off of the internet, because I'm always down for
Look, I've always got some weird covers that I shouldn't show on the internet, but I didn't pull them out. So maybe next time.
That's good. Well, this has been Collecting Comics at the End of the World, because that is just going to be our shows for the summer. We're not going to get too into news and everything because there's plenty of other comic book shows to do that. We're just showing books, having some fun, because wow, this country is going a little nutso, and so is the world. So, hey, we need to have some diversion, something to not make us all anxiety ridden all the time. And for us, we chose comics, and it's okay if you chose it too. And guess what? We're going to be back next week, but also after this show, you can go check out the low grades. I think that Jig's Kingdom is going to be taking the week off this week. He wasn't on Wednesday. Otherwise, tomorrow night on Astonishing Comics, they're going to be doing another pop-up auction. They already did the whale auction, and holy crap, 4+ hours. Like 2 people bought things. That was it.
Wow.
People aren't buying comics. My own personal comic shop that I get most of this stuff from, which anybody that wants to know about that, he usually does these sales on Saturday nights right around 11 o'clock or later. So check out his stuff. He has great prices and everything, but even he was having trouble selling things. And that's where we are. If you want to find a book right now, you're not going to find a better time possibly in your life right now if you're trying to buy comics. I mean, here's another example. Something that just came out. You see all those books right back there? Yeah, about that. Those are just the new books that came out. And out of those new books that came out, there was one that was the Adventure Comics 210. It was a facsimile first appearance of Crypto. They did not bother telling comic shops that for the 2 tickets of the winners, hey, great. But for those that are the losers, well, you get a month free to DC Universe's Infinite app so you can read comics, which is the direct competition of your LCS. So many shops started throwing out their copies or saying, hey, I want my money back. You didn't tell us this stuff. So it's not rare. They printed a lot of them, but a lot of them are being pulped. So you might want to grab yourself a copy because, hey, you heard it from me. And it's not like I'm an influencer, but I am going to tell you when I think that something might be a little not passing the smell test. And this might become a rarity by stupidity because people throwing away comic books instead of getting your money back. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are we doing? I don't know. But in any case, we will be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Old Comic Book Day on June the 27th. If there's anything you want to see on the show, drop a comment. Anything happening in the lives of you fine gentlemen?
No, just the night. Oh, I can't say it, I guess. But there's a big birthday party in my family tomorrow. And I do not know how to make Jell-O shots, apparently. I've been shamed. I watered them down, and I was yelled at by my teenage daughter. So I'm going to have to rethink my recipe.
Well, that's why there's the internet to go ahead and learn how to make things, because I don't expect people to know how to do anything. If I ask a kid these days, hey, how do I do this? What's 2 + 2? They're going to whip out their phone and put it into ChatGPT.
No, but I asked the internet. The internet said to make it this way. And my daughter said, no, we can't. We'd have to do like 4 shots before we got drunk. And it's like, yeah, so
that's why there's something called pre-gaming. So that way, even if it tastes disgusting, it doesn't matter because you're already halfway there.
I mean, in my day, we take the time to do 5 Jell-O shots to get drunk. Nowadays, they're too lazy. They're too lazy.
No, now they just would rather do it by an enema.
Nope. That's not what I said. Nope.
And that's our show tonight, everybody. We will be back next week. We love y'all. Thank you all for watching. Miracleman, Michael, Ian's out there having some fun this weekend, and Caroline's having some great fun. We can't wait to see what she got, and she will hopefully get to see that next week. But until then, go check out the low grades after the show. We love y'all. Remember to hit that like, drop us a comment if there's anything you want to see, and there we go. Love y'all. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.